Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new video, and today I'll be discussing the amazing launch of Sons of the Forest. Now I think a lot of people were worried that this game wasn't going to live up to what the developers were hyping it up to be, but no, I can confirm after about 6 to 7 hours of playtime that this game is absolutely amazing. And in this video I'm going to be going through all of my favorite things about the game so far and everything that I love about it, and a couple things that I feel like that are going to need worked on throughout the early access, but overall all positive things. And the first thing I want to talk about that I really loved and stood out to me was the game's atmosphere. As soon as I stepped foot into the forest, it felt alive. As soon as you entered into the lush environment, it was amazing. So many details, the bushes, the grass, to the trees. There's so many variations of trees now, which is really cool. And I haven't even gotten to the seasons yet, but I can't wait to see what the trees look like as soon as fall comes in and the seasons start to change. But not only was the atmosphere beautiful, but it was scary. It gave off that atmosphere that someone was watching you, that you were being stalked as you made your way through the forest, and that is exactly what is happening, and it is terrifying. While I was walking through a trail, a cannibal with a mask came up to me with a motorboat engine trying to kill me, and it was terrifying. Just the fear I had when running away from it just made me jump my pants. But running through this beautiful forest while being chased by a crazy cannibal man made the perfect fun game experience. That was the first thing I noticed and I loved about this game. And as we talk about the environment, the caves are insane. What a massive overhaul and upgrade from the original forest. These caves, first of all, they are so much bigger in size. Me and my friend were exploring through the cave, and it took us it took not hours, but it took us at least 20 to 30 minutes to get through one of the large caves, and it was so cool that it didn't feel boring or repetitive at all. It felt there's always, when you turn a corner, there's always something new. We went down, there's sharks in the water, we found the rebreather in the one, and when we searched through one of the larger caves, while we were trying to progress through, we had to fight a mini boss. This giant blob of goo and guts was just standing there. Sorry for the spoilers, and I'm sorry for whenever you guys have to find this guy, because it's terrifying. And all the new AI in the caves is just spooky. Instead of just having normal cannibals and a couple mutants, Endnight Games has included these new types of cannibals without these faces, and the way they act is just scary. And they have all these new different types. Instead of just having these big fat mutants, they have sprinty mutants. I don't even know what to call them, but the ones with the teeth sticking out of their face. There's mutants with 2 heads and a bunch of legs, and it's just terrifying. The amount of new AI in these caves and roaming around the forest is so scary, and it is just so fun to play. And while encountering these enemies, I found that the next thing that was so fun about the launch of this game has been the weapons and that we've been able to use. The spear, I know it sounds weird, but the wooden spear that you can craft pretty much right off the start of the game, it is so fun and such a good weapon to use. Being able to hit enemies from a farther distance and poke them back is such a good technique I found, and especially in the caves. It's harder to use a spear whenever you have more than one coming up at you, but if you're just one-on-one with a guy, the spear is a really good way to go. And when accessing these weapons throughout this amazing new inventory system they have, I think it's really cool. Now, the inventory system, I will say, it's not too big of a change because it's the same concept as the inventory system from the forest, but it's a big enough change. And I feel like it was a bit odd for me to relearn again. I feel like it's a bit annoying having to scroll and look all the way to your right to find some armor to throw on, and it can be a bit difficult in a time when you need to throw on some new armor in time of a fight. But overall, I think the inventory is great. I love how all the items, all the weapons, all the different things are managed and laid out through it. I think it's really easy to access what you need to access. The new quick inventory system is absolutely amazing. I know I've said that word amazing so many times, but it truly, the quick inventory system makes for a really easy way to access a different weapon in a fight, which is really nice that the original Forest didn't have. And as I mentioned before, I was playing with my friend throughout these caves and we were building, and multiplayer, it did glitch a few times and we did run into a few bugs, but again, we're in early access right now and we're going to be expecting little bugs like this. One of the main bugs we encountered was your character would stop moving and you couldn't look in any direction, so it's a bit annoying when you run into things like that, but overall multiplayer ran really smooth. We only encountered a bug maybe every 3 hours, which isn't bad, and it was just a minor one, and everything in the game with multiplayer just worked really well. Having a friend, Kelvin, Virginia, all together is really fun and makes a really cool experience. It feels like you got your own little gang inside the forest, which is really cool. And as we talk about Kelvin's cool. I don't know what else to say about him. He's a cool guy. He's a funny guy. He feels a part of the team, even though he's a bit odd, you know. He does his own thing. He picks his nose a little bit, but he's an odd guy. I like it. He really adds on a cool vibe to the forest, and I like being able to build and say, hey, Kelvin, can you go get some sticks or some rocks for me? And another thing I found cool about Kelvin was you could go get him to chop down a tree for you, and he would do it, and he would bring back the logs, and it's really cool. You could even get Kelvin to set up miniature tasks for you. You can get him to set up a tarp and a couple sticks to build yourself like a little lean-to hut. It's really cool. I haven't really gotten him to fight AI yet, just because they've always been really intense situations, and I can't get my damn piece of paper out in time to get him to fight for me. But again, whenever he's more useful in those areas, it's going to be cool to see what he's capable of doing. And yeah, Kelvin is great. And the next thing I want to say about this game is it's technically stunning. Like, the graphics in this game, the audio, it's all amazing. Now, one thing I will criticize about the audio is that whenever you're standing close to water, with running water, especially near waterfalls, you can hear a little bit of a buggy noise and a little bit of rumbling between the audio waves whenever you're standing there, which is a bit annoying, but I feel like the developers were going to fix this before the actual launch of the game, and I definitely think it's something we're going to see in early access. And hey, it's day one of the game, things happen, you know. But the audio, the graphics, the atmosphere, it all looks so good. Everything looks so visually appealing, and I think A Night Game has done such a great job at making this game look next gen. Even though that we're on PC and it's not even on console yet, I'm just using the term next gen, meaning like this looks like it's coming from the next generation. It's amazing. It looks beautiful, and it's so damn pretty. I think what they've done with AI, how they've overhauled it, I think this is going to take a huge step for survival games. I think there's going to be many survival games in the future that are going to look at Sons of the Forest and look at the things they've done, and they're going to use some of these features, because what they've done here is they've created this masterpiece. Now, I know there's bugs, and I know not everybody's going to agree with me, but they've done an amazing job with this game so far, and I feel like what we're going to see and how this game's going to improve over time, over the next 3 to 6 months, I think it's going to be incredible. And not only are we going to see constant improvements, we've already seen on the home pages, the menu, that we're getting our next major update, it seems, in the next 13 days, which is really cool. Yes, we're in early access, but it gives us now something to look forward to in 13 days, not that early game hype that the game is launching. That's not going to be over yet, because we're still going to get constant new updates of new things in Sons of the Forest, and I think that's really exciting for the whole player-based community, and I really love that. And the next thing I want to talk about, I think this is probably the biggest change in this series, is the building system. The building system is so cool. Now, if you're new at building, if you've never, I think every player coming into this building system is going to be a bit confused. I certainly was confused on how it all worked, but again, this is something you learn and you get better at over time. It's just like Minecraft. You're not going to go in being able to build the coolest looking apartment buildings or houses ever. You take time to learn on how to build better. I think this is going to be the same thing with Sons of the Forest. I think that yes, it's a bit tricky. We're all adapting and learning how this building system works, but I think at the end of the day, I think this is a really cool new system they've come up with in this free form building system, I think we're gonna see a lot of creativity within the community, and I feel like we're gonna have some really cool projects and houses and tutorials that are gonna be coming out on YouTube, and everybody's gonna be seeing. I think players are gonna have a lot of fun with this new building system. It's really cool. I love just being able to grab a stick, break it from my knee, and build a fire. Then I love being able to grab some rocks from my inventory and building around it and upgrading it. Another cool thing with this whole building system is you can chop wood, and once you've chopped out a window, you can reuse that log, chop it in half again, and you have firewood, and you can put that in your fire, which is so cool. And I think that's amazing. It feels so realistic, and I think they've done a great job with that. And with the building, yes, there's a few bugs with the building system right now. I know on one of my new videos, people are commenting that they couldn't get the latch on the gate to work, for example. But again, these are things that are going to be ironed out, and these are going to be fixed in the near future, which I assume probably next update. And they've already released one patch fix for the game. But no, I think the building system is great. I think once people start to understand how to use it more and use it better, I think we're going to see some amazing creations and bases. And just as soon as you start building, I think it's really cool seeing the AI surround you and make you feel like they're watching you in every move you're making. And I think that's cool. And some new things like the equipment. I love the GPS they've added. I think that's really cool. The GPS is a really nice feature, especially with the map largening in size by 5 times. I think the GPS is a really nice feature, especially whenever going to find these new locations, like the purple icons or the green icons. I know I haven't really gotten too far into the story yet, but I know that these icons are some big things with the story and some things we're gonna need to find. And I think if we didn't have the GPS, I think it'd be really hard for players to find those individual locations and marking them out. And I think it's a really cool feature to have with this mini map. But overall, these have been some of my main positive things that I've loved about Sons of the Forest so far. And I cannot wait to see where this game goes. And I think it's been absolutely a great experience playing so far, and I cannot wait to see what comes next. I am uploading and creating tons of Sons of the Forest content on my channel. So if you are interested, if you enjoy me, if you like me as a YouTuber, if you want to check out some of my stuff, if you want to subscribe and leave a like, that'd be amazing. I'd love to get to know some of you guys. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you are all having a great time in Sons of the Forest so far, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out, guys.